Could you walk me through how to do a performance marketing audit or how we do a performance marketing audit?
Yeah, absolutely. There are almost two scenarios that we tend to do these audits in. You have the new business and sales scenario, whereby we get access to a client's account and we go through and follow some very careful steps in regards to how we would manage the account if we were to take it over. And then the second is just ongoing audits within the accounts we currently have. Which tends to be ongoing maintenance or any flags where we're seeing performance declining outside of the standard variation that we tend to see. So there are a few core areas we look into when we do any audit, but the primary one is really wasted spend and revenue lost. So are there any areas whereby we can see some massive efficiencies and make a huge impact to return on investment almost immediately? That can be anything from 20% of the account, 20% of the spend in the account having zero conversions at the keyword level, and that being a
Yeah.
very easy pause for us, all the way through to budget mismanagement or reallocation of budget where needed. I guess the second area is around adoption. So are we adopting all of the, standard that we tend to see across the agency, whether it's value-based bidding or ad hygiene relevance, landing page relevance, creative diversity, conversion density? There's also a scale opportunity element to that too. Are we really pushing the account to scale and scale at the right time? So that can be through different testing, different campaign types, optimizing the funnel to make it as incremental as possible. And then finally, it's measurement. There's been a lot of talk in the Thrive ethos around how we audit measurement and how we make sure that we're measuring the activity that we have to be truly incremental to a business. And so that comes from the baseline of making sure we have tracking set up properly, that we're adhering to best practices when it comes to data privacy there, including CAPI and enhanced conversion setup, all the way through to LTV analysis, measurement, and making sure we have down funnel and CRM data integrated. So that was a long-winded way of saying we kind of do this 360 audit of accounts, both internally at Thrive very regularly on a quarterly basis, and then also the same in the sales process too.
There are two quick threads that I want to pull at there. The first one being scaling. So when we talk about scaling, it's less about us wanting to spend more for the sake of wanting to spend more and more about like what are the strategic goals of the business and how do we scale their advertising program to meet that, right? Like talk to me about the scaling piece.
Yeah, exactly. You put it very well there, but it's quite often that we see, especially in accounts that we've just taken on board or that we're auditing from in a new business scenario, whereby we see areas that are being over invested in and they, as a result, are hitting a rate of diminishing returns. That immediately to us shows that there is so much scale opportunity left on the table just as a result of us investing too much in somewhere and not allocating it to a more incremental area of the business or the account. And so when we talk about scale opportunity, it's from an efficiency standpoint that naturally opens up scale, but there's also the element of is there room to innovate, test new channels, test new tactics that we have seen to drive performance in the past?
Awesome. And the second thread that I want to pull out here is we do quarterly audits for our clients, but I would say our audience is broader than just our clients. I'm curious if you would recommend businesses implement like a quarterly audit for themselves. Like, is this something that you think is good for people to be doing?
Oh, 100%. You should at least do it quarterly. And at Thrive, we also have audit alerts too. So if we are seeing performance declines, we get alerted about that. If we're seeing campaigns not reaching data sufficiency, we have alerts already set up for that. And it's fairly easy to do, especially when you have sheets or any reporting available to you, to just work in those quick alerts or those mindful reminders that you should be checking in on this campaign, keyword, strategy, just so you remain on top of it and proactively are auditing.
It seems like from what you're telling me that it can be a heavy lift to get all of this set up at first, but if you do it the right way and set up those automations, it can kind of not maintain itself, but it gets a lot easier if you do that heavy lifting from the onset of getting the right tools in place.
Absolutely. It will save you so much time just through the automation of some of these audit flags. And as I said, over time, you start to see when it's time to rethink a strategy or a campaign setup because you have those proactive flags in place. So it just makes your life easier overall. And then for us at the agency, it means we've constantly got an eye on our client accounts, and there's just no stone unturned in the activity that we have in market.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.